Hello, middle school. Welcome to the distance learning orientation videos for school year 21-22. This is video 2. And remember maybe from the first video, our school theme for this year is seasoned. So let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Colossians 4:6. Start memorizing this verse, as it will be our lead this year as we unpack this theme. So let's dive in the subjects for today's video. Supplies lists. How do you prepare for middle school? Well, you need to buy some things or get some things. So here it is, the list. First, there is a general set of items that you would need. And it says here, for distance learning, students must have an appropriate device which has a keyboard and a webcam and microphone. For example, a desktop computer, a laptop or MacBook or a Chromebook. A tablet or smartphone is not appropriate. Students can borrow a Chromebook from the school. The device should also have internet access. Please be on the lookout for an email from Mrs. McKay, who will give the opportunity to get student materials from school, pick up the stuff that they need, probably on August 13. And at that time, you will probably also be able to borrow a Chromebook. So here are the supplies for all classes. And if I scroll down this list, you can see everything that is needed. And you can read that. I will add it to this email. Then there are course-specific extras. So for grade 6 in Bible, math, in the ELL class, if you are in that class, some are in the English class, some are in the ELL class. So you can check your schedule in Sycamore. So you buy either the ELL 6 or the English 6 materials, not both. And then social studies, science, and computer. Grade 7, course-specific extras. Please be aware of this asterisk here. It says, only purchase supplies for the one elective that has been scheduled for you in Sycamore. So apart from the regular, the core curriculum classes like Bible, math, English, social studies, etc., science, here's the electives area. So if you see here, for example, the home ec materials that you need to have, if you are not in home ec, don't organize these materials. You don't have to buy everything. Some things you have at home already, of course. So there you go for grade 7. And then here is grade 8, the course-specific extras. The same applies, only purchase supplies for the one elective that has been scheduled for you, but it also applies to your social studies class. There are actually 3 social studies classes listed here: Philippine Social Studies, United States Social Studies, and Korean Social Studies. So check Sycamore to see in which social studies class you are, and only buy those materials listed here. And that is all there is to say about the supplies list. So I hope this helps you to get organized. So moving back to the presentation, let's go to the Google Classroom. Google Classroom is our main platform through which we offer the content, all the learning materials, the assignments. But how does that work? If you are a returning student, you probably know most of what I will be saying here. So this is mostly for new students and parents. In order for me to show you what you see, I need to change my account because I am middle school principal here. So I would see a different setup. I would see the teacher setup of the Google Classroom. So I'll move to a different account. This is a bit of a side note. But if you have multiple people in your household and you all need to use the computer, sometimes it mixes up who is using what email address. So in Google Chrome, the browser here, on the right top corner, you have this little circle, which is where the accounts or the users are being managed. So I can click here, and this is the person logged in right now, the middle school principal. And here's a whole bunch of family members who sometimes also need to use their account. So for now, if you need to add somebody, you can click the add button, and it will. You can use your Gmail credentials. So if you have a Faith family account and a student account, both working on the same computer, this is how you would organize that. So I will just dive into or select my other Faith email address. So if you start for the first time as a student, you go to classroom.google.com. That's where your classroom sits. And if you are smart, and you are, then you can click this little star. And I already did that, but then it ends up in your bookmarks bar. So here is, I call it classes. So you never have to type it in anymore. You just click this button and you end up in the classroom. Okay. Now, for me, there are 4 classes here. I am a student in 4 classes, but you see a difference here between this one and this first one. So here's a tutorial class. So if you have not yet joined the class, you have been sent an invitation, and then you need to still click here the button join. It varies per class. Some teachers have it set up in a way that you are already part of the class. So you would not see this join button. Others have invited you, so you'd have to click this button still. That's what I will be doing now. I click it, and then I become a student in this class. And this is what your class will look like. So on top here is our 3 tabs for you. On the left top side is the name of your class, and there's a menu item. So if I click here, I see all my classes again, and a to-do button, which I will get back to in a minute. The header. And then, very important, if you have any live sessions, Google Meet sessions with your teacher, they will write it down here. And how do you get to a Google Meet session? It is here, Meet link, and then it says the link. So I can just click that, and then it will start the session. So I can join, and then now I am in the session for the Google Meet, and then I'm waiting for my teacher to come in there. Okay. Well, a teacher can post announcements here. For example, the middle school principal has said, "Hello class." So I read that as a student. Let's go to the tab. So here are the tabs. This is your classwork, and people means like what teachers and what students are in this class. You could see that. So the classwork tab is the most important one, because that lists all the work. Now, I made some dummy fake assignments for the first week. You would see August 16, the first day of classes, and then a bunch of assignments under that. And you can just click the first one, and then it says Introduction to the Day video. So you click it, and then you go and see the video. And then there's another assignment. Read pages 56 until 63 of the textbook. If you don't have the book at home, please find it here. And then there's a link to usually a PDF with the information, the work for the day. Sometimes there is an assignment. And then you can make the work. Some teachers work like this, and then on Monday you don't see the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday yet. That will only turn up like late in the afternoon or in the evening of Monday the 16th. Only late in the day you would see the 17th work stuff, as not to get overwhelmed with all the stuff that you would need to do in 1 week. But some teachers post all the steps of the work that you need to do in here in the Google Classroom. Other teachers have just one sort of assignment. Let me show you this one, the daily plan. And then it says, "Hello class, please read the daily plan for today and do the required work." So then you go to the Google Doc that they have prepared for you. And then instead of the list of work that you need to do in the Google Classroom, it's actually put together in a Google Doc. And then you work through the instructions on that Google Doc. Okay. One assignment. So here you see, for example, favorite color. So it's due August 18. So I am working on August 18. At the end of the day, I need to have this done. So I can go into the assignment or view assignment. And here you see what I should do. So I can click my work here. Please fill out the worksheet. Those are the instructions. The title of the assignment here I can click. And then what is your favorite color? Usually, of course, in the real classes, you have a more sophisticated worksheet or some more intelligent questions. So let's say I finished my work and then I can turn it in. I can turn it in here and then turn in. Here we go. Now it's turned in because the button is changed to unsubmit. So if you still need to make changes, sometimes you can unsubmit it, change the thing and submit it again. Okay. Going back to, so I can delete, close these two and going back to my class. Oops, here we go. To the classwork. I wanted to show you one more thing. On the top left corner is a button with classes and then to do. So if you click on to do, again, there are 3 tabs. What is assigned, what is missing, and what is done. So hit the missing button closer to the end of the day or the end of the week, and then you can see everything in red is the things that you have missing still. So for this week in my class, do you own a pet? That should have been submitted yesterday in my tutorial class. That's what I'm using. So I click it, I can go here and then, do you own a pet? I still need to answer this question. So yes, I do own a pet. I can click, turn it in. You get an extra dialog box asking if you want to turn it in. And yes, now I am done with that. So upon checking the to-do list, missing, it is no longer missing in the work of this week. Okay, so that is in a nutshell the Google Classroom and how it works. You will get used to it, and for new students and grade 6 students, there is a part of this as well in your Google Apps course, I think. So going back to the presentation, we were here. So what's next is the course description document per class. What? So I have an example. In every Google Classroom, the teacher will post a description of what you will be doing. So here we go. This is an example of the web design class, which is only taught in second semester. But it's just an example. So course description, web design, there's a course description, English, there's a course description, math. And so all of the subjects have one. So you can read about what you can expect in this course, what they will be doing, and how the grading is done. So first an introduction, and that's the same for everybody. Every course at Faith Academy assumes that students have signed and will abide by the student policy for distance learning. You can click on this and then you go to that policy. We will do that in a minute, okay? Here's the course description for this particular class, the equipment that you need that is aligned with the supplies list as well. And then the online classroom procedures, like how is it working? How has the teacher organized his or her class? How are Google Meet sessions being done and what are the expectations turning in of assignments? Sycamore is what you use to check on grades. Asking questions, how is that done? For each teacher, they do have a different approach. Sometimes it depends on whether they're in the Philippines or not. Expectations, as a student, you can expect that the teacher, blah, 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 blah. This is what the teacher will commit to. And as a student, you will be expected to blah, 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 blah. That's what you sort of sign up for if you attend this class, okay? And then the assessment plan, how your grade will be determined. Google Meet calls is 10% of your grade in this class. Typing, assignments, and then the grading scale that is being used. Okay, so all of the teachers are doing that and you can find it in each of the classrooms. And then sort of the centerpiece of our distance learning model is this thing. And this will take you some time to read through, but you have to read it through because we are asking you to sign it. You have to sign it before you come to classes. How do I sign? I'll get to that in a minute, okay? So read this through with your parents or one of your parents. This document describes how distance education is organized in the middle school division at Faith Academy. The first chapter outlines the student protocol for learning with expectations, teacher commitment, disciplinary procedures. Chapter 2 contains the honor code. The code explains academic integrity and responsible use of technology. And by signing this document in chapter 3, students confirm that they have read this document, they will adhere to the expectations of the protocol, and they will uphold the honor code while studying at Faith Academy. So here we go. The 3 main expectations in middle school is be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. Those are pretty straightforward and make sense. So the student expectations for all middle school classes are described here. Again, I'm not reading this all because that will make for a very long video. But you can read this through. You should read this through, and then how everything is arranged. For example, what am I scrolling through here? Sorry. Student expectations, and then check-in meetings every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Remember that from video 1. Course-specific expectations for students. Those are described in the course description document that I just told you about. And teacher commitment, like it's not only expectations of you, but it's also expectations that we put on ourselves as a staff of Faith Academy to help you to the best of our ability. And the Fridays, they look a little bit different. So here you go. What does it look like? How does it work? And what are you supposed to be doing? And then sometimes it's not a perfect world, so you don't always meet the expectations. So what happens then? We assume positive intentions. So we assume that you want to learn, that you put in an effort. And then if it's not working, what is going on? What's the problem? And here is the procedure for how we go about it. Okay? You can read all about that. So then the honor code. The purpose of this code is to communicate and agree upon the meaning and importance of academic integrity, student commitment to learning, and responsible digital citizenship to all members of the school community. Second, this contract articulates and supports the interest of the Faith Academy community in maintaining the highest standards of conduct in student distance learning. I am not ultimately interested in your high grades, but in your character development, okay? So I would love for you to be a passionate follower of Jesus Christ, and that will reflect in how you learn. Here is the biblical rationale for our honor code. Academic integrity means that you work honestly in your assignments. You do not cheat. You do not copy stuff off the internet. That is called plagiarism. You don't ask your fellow students, your classmates for work like, hey, can I see your assignment? You will be tempted to just copy over whatever they have and not do the thinking and the work yourself. So that's all being described here. And here's my cat. You're in the way. Sorry. Well, it's not my cat, actually. And let's see. That's the honor code. So, lastly, we have a technology acceptable use policy. You can click on this and then you go through how our technology use is arranged in Faith Academy. And I summarize that in here as well, that you use internet in the appropriate way, and you like the chat function in Google. Don't abuse that. Have good conduct. Use positive language that builds each other up. Remember these ones. Your language should be seasoned with salt. Not only what you say, but also what you write in chat rooms and that sort of thing. Okay. And then if you have read all of this, you can sign this page. Like you can print it, sign it, scan it, send it to me, but that's a bit of a hassle. So what you also can do is just click here, click on the link, and then it just states again what you are signing here. What is your name? Well, my name is this. Let me say I'm in grade 8. Today's date is August 5. And then, yes, I understand the policy and I will abide by this protocol, this honor code, and the above mentioned policies while participating in distance learning at Faith Academy. You submit it, and there you go. Go back to the document, and then there's the parent digital signature as well. We feel it's very important for parents to sign this as well. It's not a contract, but it's just your acknowledgement of, yes, I have read this. So again, your this time the parent's name, the email. Let me use my personal email address and then my name, my child's name. Let's say I'm writing this for my son in grade 8, and then I can click here again. And yes, I understand the policy and support the school and my child in abiding by this protocol, this honor code, and the above mentioned policies while participating in distance learning at Faith Academy. Submit. Woo! So this is the distance learning policy for students. And that is the video for today. So stay tuned for the orientation video number 3, in which I introduce myself a little bit, some more. I will talk about middle school mission, about communication, about PBIS, shout outs, school services, and your child's picture. So, so that was it for today. Again, if you have any questions, please email me at msd.principal@faith.edu.ph or Mrs. McKay at msd.vp@faith.edu.ph. I hope you have a great day and see you in the next video. Bye.